Up him. Just wanted to say, I was rushing to camp this morning. Well, it's pretty much afternoon right now because it's 1 o'clock. And obviously, well not obviously, but I'm telling you right now that I forgot my garment. So I was thinking, well, I should go back or not. But you know what, I might as well just do the lesson right now. But Salakia Babu Kishar. Salakia. Yeah, that's a quick camp. You know? Quick camp. Again, Salakia that I didn't bring my garment. Salakia. Next time I have to be more organized. But yeah, man, we've got to bring it out nevertheless. Alright. Cool. Let's begin. Again, Baruch Shah, Salakia. Also Salakia to the elders, to the apostles of Great Mosul as well. Baruch Shah Salakia, because I forgot my garment, Salakia. So anyways, to begin with, Ka Halal Imla, Allah Shajah Yahweh, Baruch Hashem, Adan Taqwan Yahweh Shai Masiyah, Baruch Hashem Rahakudah, and double honors to the Great Mosul apostles as well. So obviously, how about Shimi Ashara Ratazar that you're edified too. But right now, the topic today is the fact that we're going to have to endure trials as Job endured his trials as well. Because if you read the book of Job, we then find out that he had to endure through trials. And of course, these trials are pretty much tests of affliction, tests of suffering that one needs to go through. So, as they're going through these tests of affliction, Salakia, double honors to the Great Muslim apostles as well. But I forgot to say that. So of course, as they're enduring these afflictions, the thing is they will then help to strengthen our minds for the time to come. If we know all these tests of affliction are then going to prepare us to also resist that mark of the beast ultimately. If we know Yahweh Shemi Ashai has told us to then reject. Again, referring back to Revelation chapter 13 verse 60. So, referring back to the actual topic, which is enduring afflictions, and pretty much enduring those trials as Job did, let me get my first one. But we can also refer back to 2 Corinthians, you know, when Paul was talking about his personal affliction. You know, receiving 40 stripes, I think. Brother, you know you're an Israelite. One of the chosen people of the Most High. Have you heard of the names Yahweh and Yahweh Shai? I'm not sure if that there was a big one. The first one of which I was talking to you, that was definitely. You know, speckled birds may be everywhere. Speckled birds are everywhere, so let me get the first scripture. Again, Baruch Shah Salakia. I forgot my garments. Yeah, man. That's what happens when you're in a rush. My days. But yeah, man, let me get it. Salakia. Yeah, I'll read from verse 17, Salakia. Now, it's the 2 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 17, says here, that which I speak it not after the Lord, but as it were foolishly in this confidence of boasting. So obviously from that precept we know that, you know, Apostle Paul was pretty much boasting, as it mentioned there in the scripture. So, it says here in verse 18, 2 Corinthians 11 verse 18, seeing that many glory after the flesh, I will glory also. And of course, during the precepts after that, the verses after that, he pretty much kept mentioning that he was speaking foolishly. So of course, this isn't some stone advice that one should take. Pretty much Paul was saying that he was speaking foolishly, so basically, you take what he's saying lightly. Just in those specific verses where he actually mentioned
that he was speaking foolishly. So, in verse 19 it says here, "For ye suffer fools gladly, seeing ye yourselves are wise." Verse 20, "For ye suffer if a man bring you into bondage, if a man devour you, if a man take of you, if a man exalt himself, if a man smite you on the face." Verse 21, "I speak as concerning reproach, as though we had been weak. Howbeit, wherein soever any is bold as speak foolishly, I am bold also." Alright, so this isn't the main part, but I'll get to it. Salakia. Bold also. Verse 22, "Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I." So again, we can also refer back to the argument whether the two terms Hebrew Israelites are mentioned within the scriptures. And it's mentioned right there. Are they Hebrews? So of course reference to the language, Hebrew, ancient Hebrew. And also referring to not just the Hebrew language, are they Israelites? That's what Paul asked. He says, "So am I as well." So of course Hebrew Israelites is an actual term within the scriptures. Obviously not back to back, but the point is both of the terms are mentioned. Hebrew and Israelites within the same region. So verse 23, it says, "Are they ministers of Yahushua HaMashiach? I speak as a fool. I am more in labors, more abundant, in stripes above measure, in prisons more frequent, in deaths often." Verse 24, "Of the Jews 5 times received I 40 stripes, save one. Thrice," this is verse 25 now, "thrice was I beaten with rods, once was I stoned. Thrice I suffered shipwreck, a night, a day I have been in the deep." So pretty much the main point that I was trying to get to here is pretty much Paul mentioning his afflictions. That's the main point that I was trying to bring, in case you were wondering what I was saying. So the intention was to really say that, the intention was really verse 23 and verse 24 to get it out. So I'll read verse 23 again. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 23. It says here, "Are they ministers of Yahushua HaMashiach? I speak as a fool." It says here, "I am more in labors, more abundant, in stripes above measure, in prisons more frequent, in deaths often." So of course these are just examples of the afflictions that Paul had to suffer through. In terms of the suffering that he had to go through, it says in labors more abundant. So of course in terms of the work, pushing Yahweh Shem Yahushua, pushing the gospel upon Israel, that's what he was abundant in. Which means he did a lot of it. He kept pushing that word, man, he kept going. And he did a lot of it. Dedicated his whole life to it. If you're really going to summarize what he meant. In labors more abundant. So it says here in stripes above measure. So of course stripes referring to the whips. And of course these whips would then have markings upon it. So you know when I don't know, obviously when Akim may have been younger, you know, if they did disobey their parents, then they may have gotten a stripe, you know, with the belt. Of course, after getting so many stripes, you would have had those red markers on your skin, you know? You would have had those red marks on your skin, those red stripes on your skin. And it says in prisons more frequent. So of course that's referring to the fact that, you know, as Apostle Paul, you know, was going from place to place, preaching the gospel, the things he had to go to prison a few times too. The same way in Revelation 2, Yahweh pretty much warning us that that the devil will also put us into prison. Some of us into prison. That's the key point. So in fact, let me get that right now. Let me get it right now. Revelation 2. Don't fear him, man. Don't fear Esau Edom. That's pretty much the message. That's why it's warning us, although we may be in prison, we still got to keep the faith. 10, it says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So again, the point being is to have that faith unto death. So even if we're casted into prison, just for our faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, ultimately what we should be rooting for, or how we should be rooted, is really our faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahshua and really rejecting that mark of the beast. And of course being against the system. And of course the ultimate way to then show that that faith is pretty much rejecting that mark of the beast as well, and also through your works too. Although we know, as well as mentioned within the scriptures, that we're not really saved by our works, but you know, we still keep going. You know, for the respect of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, and as we're commanded for too. To keep going, to have that faith, to keep running, to finish the race. Alright. Yeah, it says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. I know, as we know in this lesson, we're talking about the fact that we've got to endure trials. We've got to endure trials as Job suffered. You know, which I'll get to Job soon, but you know, we're going into Paul right now. So, as Paul also, you know, he suffered through stripes, which means flogs. Well, I say flogs, but you know, many whips, if anything, if you want to break it down that way. But you know, stripes is pretty much referred to the mark that's gained when you whip someone. You know, let's say with a belt or with an actual whip. You know? So the same way Paul had to suffer, going back to 2 Corinthians 11 verse 23 to 25, I think. Let me get it. There's many stripes. The thing is, with those many stripes, we may also have to get whipped as well. So of course, that's going to be a hard thought to have, though Yahweh Hashem Yahshua did say we've got to endure to the end. So whatever affliction that we're given personally to endure, that's what we're supposed to hold through. That's what we're supposed to do. Alright. I think this is the one. This is Hebrews 12, verse 6. It says here, for whom the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahshua, loveth. Obviously this is referring to Yahweh, but of course Ba'ashem Yahshua, you know, because you know, God kissed the Son, as it says in Psalms 2. But specifically, whenever it says Lord in capital, it's referring to Yahweh. Even right now in the, you know, Salaki, I'm going too deep into it. But the point is, it's Yahweh that's speaking here, because, you know, he's the Father of all spirits. So it says here in Hebrews 12, verse 6, for whom the Lord Yahweh loveth, he chasteneth and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. So of course, those of you in the truth right now, you know the names of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, you know, in the breakdowns, and of course having that true understanding of the scriptures. As you come out here and you preach as well, do the works, the thing is, obviously there will also be times where you have to endure chastening. Chastening refers to affliction, certain things. You know, if you're like a younger brother, it may be afflictions from your parents. That's one thing. If you're an older brother, it could be afflictions from your wife. You know, she just, you know, saying stuff that annoys you. And not just annoys you, but, you know, going against the truth as well. She may not even be part of the truth. Or the fact that she can't really receive it. So that's one thing. There's also other afflictions as well. And, you know, as you're preaching as well, one day Esau Edom can come and pretty much arrest you. You know? All these different things we've got to endure. And it says here, I'll say, this is Hebrews 12, verse 7. It says, if ye endure chastening, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua dealeth with you as with sons. So Yahweh dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not. So of course, it means that it's pretty much necessary to go through this chastening, this endurance, this affliction that we need to go through. It says, if ye endure chastening, Yahweh dealeth with you as with sons. So of course, that's pretty much the great news as well. Because you know, when Yahweh Hashem deals with us, we know also that the things were separate from the world too. So by Yahweh Hashem dealing with us, we also get that protection. Not just the protection too, but of course we get the wisdom and the understanding to help us navigate throughout this life, man. Now, you know, as the Jews came out, let me switch it. It might be a bit noisy, innit? Because these lot over here, man. These Edomites over here. Or heathens, whatever. Anyways. Yeah, why is it blurry? Yeah, it's a lot, people. I don't know why it's blurry, man. Yeah, that's the matter. Anyways, let me continue. It's a lot, people. This is Hebrews 12. This is Hebrews 12, verse 7. Repeating the point again. If ye endure chastening, Yahweh dealeth with you. So of course, referring to the fact that, you know, as Yahweh Hashem is dealing with us, we're then separate from this world. And that's the point. And it says, he dealeth with you as sons. So, it says, for what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? So what son are you of which the Father doesn't chasten? I'm actually moving. These lot are annoying.
Watch parenting ad-free and uninterrupted.
Yeah, I'm going.
On us.
I'm still recording, but you know, the flipping move closer as I started preaching. Not even as I started. As I flipping, I don't even know, but they just started moving closer, man. It's the demons, bro. Yeah, how about me outside? You can see me at least slightly. But my camera's a bit blurry, innit? Yeah. Yeah, let me get back to the point. So, it says here in Hebrews 12, verse 7, if ye endure chastening, Yahweh dealeth with you as with sons. But what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? So of course, that's pretty much a signal right there to them saying that if you're then a son of Yahweh Hashem outside, he will chasten you. Of course, you know, we've got multiple things. We've got Israelites, obviously the children of Israel, but then we have the separation of which it says, if ye endure chastening, it says Yahweh dealeth with you as with sons. So of course, that's pretty much bringing that connection, that closer connection. But you know, we got 2/3 out here, although they may be, you know, children of Israel, they don't really know that. And of course, you tell them, they reject it, it's not for them. But the thing is, those of the elect, those who are who Yahweh Hashem is dealing with, you know, placing that spirit to come out here to preach, to make videos, to also bring that understanding upon other Israelites, to keep doing the works. This is what it is. They have that closer connection as a son unto Yahweh. That's ultimately what it means. And one of the signals to then know that is having that chastening, that affliction. It means that Yahweh is dealing with you. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. That's what it means. So, it says in verse 8, Hebrews 12 verse 8, it says here, but if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. So that's pretty much confirms it, man. If you're not getting chastised, that's referring to the 2/3, man. It says, but if ye be without chastisement. So of course, those are the 2/3 who are doing the works, you know, they've got no idea what's going on. The thing is they're going without chastisement, and they're referred to as bastardry. and not sons, as it says in Hebrews 12, verse 8. So come on. So that's pretty much the point, man. We're gonna have to suffer through this, man. We're gonna have to endure these afflictions. That's what we have to do. Great tribulation. It's called Jacob's trouble for a reason. So we're gonna have to endure through these famines, the pestilences that we've got going on, you know. And the thing is, this is why it's essential to have faith and trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahshai. But the thing is, you can do all you can to avoid these pestilences, especially this one that we had recently. You know, the CV thing. Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, they won't take it down. But yeah, the CV thing, that's what I'm saying, CV. Which started 2020. So of course, them ones who took the juice, we have a term now that's referred to as juice shedding. Obviously, you've got to replace the juice with the V word. So those man that took the juice as well, the thing is they're actually going to get infected even more. They're like, how do you say it? They're like spreaders. But the thing is, they take it in, and obviously you have these little nanoparticles that, you know, grow within them, which again, the metals, I don't want to get too deep into this, but you know, Arkin probably can search up a few videos on BitChute or Odyssey, you know, just search up the V word in it, then, you know, you already got videos being uploaded, and different heathens, even Jake as well, and yeah. But the point being is that they also shed things, which will also harm you too. That was a video that I was watching this morning. So again, that's how we have to be cautious, and not just cautious as well in terms of like what we eat and how we, in terms of intake of healthy foods to, you know, help our immune system. You know, we can do that too, but of course, it's ultimately how about Shimi Hashem for those things to then affect us. So, as we're out here, you know, mingling, or not mingling, but rather, you know, working or studying for, you know, younger kids that may still be in school, with those who would have taken the juice. The thing is, it's only by how Bashim Yahshai's will and by faith that we're actually protected from those people, man. Because you know, there's a lot of nonsense from this. You can't really escape from it. Only by how Bashim Yahshai's mercy. That's what it really comes down to. Literally watching a video this morning about the juice shedding, man. Them ones, and things it can spread when them ones who took the juice, they exhale. It can spread through waterborne as well, so through water, liquids, fluids. It can spread through, so exhaling obviously through airborne, waterborne, through physical contact as well. And sometimes you can't really avoid those things as well, especially the air one as well. So of course, as we're also, you know, having to deal with these people, when I say deal with, it may be in the workplace, it may be in school. The thing is, we got to pray to Yahweh Hashem Yahshai every day to protect us from that thing, man. From Esau's thing, bioweapon. That's what it really is. So as we pray every day, then Yahweh Hashem Yahshai Ratazah, that we keep going. We keep doing the works, and we have a healthy vessel to keep going with these works as well. So yeah, man, that's just a little thing, you know, about what I watched this morning. But yeah, Akim just got to be careful, you know, eat what you can to be healthy, do what you can, you know, raise up that immune system. So, let's get another one. We're going to have to endure afflictions, man. In fact, let me get to Job right now. Let me get to Job. So, this is Job chapter 1, verse 13. It says, and there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. So this was referring to the sons and daughters of Job. Right, so the next verse. And there came a messenger unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the asses feeding beside them. And of course, asses referring to donkeys. It says here, and the Sabians fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. And that was pretty much the first messenger. The second one is this one. It says here, while he was yet speaking, therefore came also another, and said, the fire of Yahweh is fallen from heaven, and hath burnt up the sheep and the servants and consumed them, and I only am escaped to tell thee. So again, this was the second messenger talking about an event that happened upon, I think, Job's possessions. Let me read it again. It says, while he was yet speaking, there came also another, and said, the fire of Yahweh is fallen from heaven, and hath burnt up the sheep and the servants and consumed them, and I only am escaped to tell them. So of course, referring to the sheep, the possessions of Job. The thing is that he, I mean, obviously we don't know physically how it went out, but we know that pretty much Yahweh sent a fire from the heavens to then destroy those sheep. So of course that would have been one of those wonders that would have been seen back in the day when Job was there, you know, when Job was still alive. So yeah, back in that timeline. Because you know, reincarnation, we know that obviously there's a transfer of spirit between vessels, in it, from one place to another, from one vessel to another. Right. So it says here in verse 16, while he was yet speaking, reading it again about the sheep that he lost. It says here, while he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the fire of Yahweh is fallen from heaven, and hath burnt up the sheep and the servants and consumed them. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. And then I think verse 17, the next messenger, it says, yeah, this is probably the third. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the Chaldeans made out 3 bands and fell upon the camels, and have carried them away ye, and slain the servants with the edge of the sword. I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was, I think this is like the fourth messenger right now. In fact, let me count it, it's a lot good. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're going into the fifth messenger now. It says, while he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness and smote the 4 corners of the house. And it fell upon the young men, and they are dead. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. So of course, this is pretty much 5 messengers coming to then tell Job of what he pretty much just gone through. Well, not him personally, but of course, in terms of his possessions and how they've been damaged as well. And you know, Job had a lot of possessions, man. In fact, let me read it again. Let me read the one that talks about Job's possessions. He was a man of substance. That's the way they describe him. The scriptures describe him. It says here in Job chapter 1, verse 3, his substance also was 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 asses, she-asses, and very great household. So of course, again, asses referring to donkeys, because that was the old term for it. So that was pretty much the substance. And that's, in fact, that's all about the real riches as well. Because, you know, people think that the real riches are, you know, having all this paper money, you know, that all these rappers be flexing. That's fiat currency, man. That's fake money right there. And the thing is, that's not the true riches. The true riches are the resources of the earth. You know, you got the animals, as it said in Job chapter 1 verse 3, it says his substance also was 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 she-asses, and a very great household. So that this man was the greatest of all the men of the east. So of course Job was lifted on a high level. Job was lifted on a high level, but though referring back to the messenger that came to him, we know that he pretty much just lost most of his possessions, if not all. Even the family as well, the great household, because he had sons and daughters. So this was Job's response as well. This was the response that he gave when, because he knew it was Yahweh that was taken from him. So this is how he dealt with it. It says here, verse 20, then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head and fell down upon the ground and worshipped. Verse 21, and said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord Yahweh gave, and the Lord Yahweh hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord Yahweh. In all this, Job sinned not, nor charged Yahweh foolishly. So of course, as we endure through, this is pretty much an example to learn from. Job being the example. As we endure through our own affliction, we're not supposed to, charge Yahweh foolishly, which means that we're not supposed to be, saying things in vain that will then offend Yahweh while Yahweh shall. Supposed to endure, as the scriptures say, endure hardness as a soldier of Yahweh shall. So, as we're preaching out here, coming out in the highways and byways, preaching and, making videos, edifying the flock. The thing is, also waking up Israelites as well. Whatever affliction, because we know we're going to enter a time of affliction as well, man. I remember when, I think 2 camps ago, the previous camp, probably the previous camp, last Saturday, I think. One of the brothers was saying, what was he saying? He was saying about the fact that there's a time coming where, all our faces are then going to be put on the news. Now, we never know, man. Like, as we're preaching, you never know when, those cameras that can super magnify. You know what I mean? So the thing is, you never know who you could be spying on you. All these videos that we're posting as well, they can be used and put on the news as well. Our faces, you know the way Esau goes, man. He does a diligent search, innit? So he goes into our ID, our details and all that. Putting our faces up on the news. That's why we're going to start getting demonized, man. Even more than we are right now. So of course, that's why whenever we go, whatever affliction that we go through, we shouldn't forsake Yahweh Shimi Hashem. We shouldn't say foolish things that would offend them. So that's the point I was making right there. And that's gonna be a major event as well, man. That's gonna be something that's all Archie are gonna be alert to as well. Because like imagine just seeing your face on the news where everyone watches the news as well. It being uploaded on multiple news channels, seen on the TV. Man, it will be everywhere. They might even make billboards to try and capture us. That will be on a run. But anyways, as we know, our faith is in Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. And it says in Psalms 115 that He's our help and shield. So again, that's why it's good for us to keep that faith going in Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, man. Keep that race going, keep running. He who endures to the end. That's in Matthew 10. But I'll get that, but let me get Psalms 115. So yeah, man, that's pretty much Job right there. Let's check if it's still cool. And again, Salakia Akim if it's blurry, man. I'm gonna need to clean up this guy here. Salak. Psalms 115. What should I get? This is it. This is Psalms 119, actually 115, verse 9. It says, "O Israel, trust thou in the Lord Yahweh, He is their help and their shield." So of course, going back to the faith, man, and also going back to the fact that, we have certain things which are happening or which we don't see as well. That, those people that took the juice, they then shed, and of course when they exhale, we can inhale that bullshit as well. So of course we gotta persevere, man, and keep praying and have that faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. Because ultimately we protected, we're actually healthy. The rock meaning through Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. I mean, the rock means literally through, like via something. Like through this, something happens. That's what it means. The rock is actually Hebrew for through. Like when I say through, obviously via. So the rock Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, that's actually how you retain this health and actually have this immune system. So of course, again, it's ultimately by their mercy, that's how we're still alive. As it says in Colossians chapter 1, that by him, Colossians 1 verse 17, by him all things consist, man. So that's why it's essential for us to also keep enduring and to keep having that faith, to keep doing the works, and most importantly, obviously keep the faith going, man. And obviously faith, the works are just one method to it too. So, let me read it again. It says Psalms 115 verse 9. It says here, "O Israel, trust thou in the Lord Yahweh, He is their help and their shield." And of course, the key point being is their help and their shield. So, mirror to verse 11, Psalms 115 verse 11. Pretty much the same thing again, but I'll read it. It says, "Ye that fear Yahweh, trust in the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. He is their help and their shield." Again, that's pretty much the same point repeated again. But the point being is that we've got to keep our faith in Yahweh and Yahushua, man. We've got to keep this faith going. Right, let me get to Matthew's 10. Right, let me check how much it's going to be. Yeah, I'm going to close up soon, nothing, but, we're going to have to keep going. Actually, why didn't I do this from time? Might as well switch the camera. Imagine. I should do this more often. Alright. Of course, same way Yahushua suffers, the same way we're going to need to suffer as well. So, let me get it. This is Matthew chapter 10 verse 22. "And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved." So of course, again, that's another scripture that refers to the importance of knowing Yahushua's name, of knowing Yahweh and Yahushua's name. And the thing is, the world that we live in right now, they're pretty much going under the idol names, which pretty much has no, not even pretty much, it has no reference to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, but they're using false names. So it says, I'll read it again, it says, "And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake." And the thing is, if you look at the idol's name, man, that doesn't really promote any hate or anything, or provoke any hate. That's the thing. But if you look at Yahushua's name, on the other hand, the thing is that actually provokes hate within all these heathens, man, and demons. Which, I don't know if you have to notice, but I paused the video because of the fact that the Edomites moved forward to play louder music. So again, another nuisance, another annoying thing. So, let me read verse 23. It says in Matthew chapter 10 verse 23, it says, "But when they persecute you, this city flee." Oh, not 23, not 23. Yeah, verse 25 actually. Matthew 10 verse 25, "It is enough for the disciple that he be as his master, and the servant as his Lord." if they have for master.
I don't know if you saw that demon rolling right there, man. Oh, he's gonna flip in the service.
But anyways, Matthew chapter 10 verse 25, it is enough for the disciple that he be as his master, and the servant as his Lord Yahweh, and the servants as his Lord. If they have called the master of the house Beelzebub, how much more shall they call them of his household? So again, this is referring to the fact that, if Yahushua was called a demonic name, of course they're going to call us all sorts of names as well. So we've got to prepare ourselves for that, which is also another test of affliction too. Sometimes we just got to keep our mouth shut and endure, man. Although we get all this name calling, we still got to endure it. We still got to endure through it. Right. So that's pretty much the main point, man. We're going to have to endure through affliction. We're going to have to go through affliction. And the thing is, obviously, it's not in vain as well, man. It's not in vain. We know that we're going to get the kingdom after that. We're going to have the ability, not ability, but rather the close relationship with Yahushua to then be able to communicate with him physically in the kingdom too. So many privileges will then be granted to us. Yahweh Shem Yashara Tazal will then endure to the end. When we pretty much endure to the end after the kingdom. See, this demon right here keeps flipping, going up and down. I wouldn't flip. Why are you even coming? I was literally going over there, right there, and I had to move over here because of this loud music. But anyways, man, let me continue a little bit. I'm gonna close out soon, but I think that's the main point proving. But yeah, man, let me get this. So yeah, whatever happens to us up here, we just go and endure it. And pray to Yahweh Shem outside to give us the spirit to endure whatever affliction that we need to go through. Right. So this is Psalms 22. Actually, Revelation chapter 22. No, it's 21. Revelation chapter 21 verse 1. Which gives a vision that John had, referring to the kingdom of Yahushua on earth, and the transition as they came down from the chariots to. Let me read it. And the final piece, I think. Revelation 21, verse 1 onwards. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from Yahweh, from God out of the heaven, prepared as the bride, adorned for her husband. So again, that's referring to the chariots, man. That's referring to the chariots when it comes down. So of course, as the elect come down from the chariot, they're pretty much coming down from the crowning ceremony. So that's pretty much the meaning of verse 2. And obviously this new earth, new heaven, new rulership system coming in. The old one, which was of Esau, that's going to be done away with. That's what it's going to be. And there is the key point being here. I'll skip to verse 4. It says, and Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, nor sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. So again, these are things of which when one thinks about, they're going to the personal suffering of this kingdom, what Israel has to go through, death, pain, crying, sorrow. A lot of times in different situations. So all that's going to be done away with, pretty much. That's what, not pretty much, but it will be done away with, as the scriptures say. Revelation 22 verse 4 says, and Yahweh shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, Yahweh Shem Yashar, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. So again, that's why it's going to be worth it for us to endure to the end, man. But all these things will be done away with, and then we're going to have to worry about it. So yeah, man. That's pretty much the main topic today up here. Let me close on. Ka halal imla, Allah shujah Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Adas Akwan Yahweh Shah Mashiach, Ba'ashem Rahak Wadash, and double honors to the great Muslim apostles. Ka halal imla, meaning all praises to the Most High Yahweh, and also the ancient Hebrew name of the Yahweh Shah, the ancient Hebrew name of the Messiah of Yahweh Shah, and of course, Rahak Wadash referring to the Holy Spirit. Yeah, man. And also double honors to the great Muslim apostles. And Salakia came if the video wasn't too, steady and stable. But yeah, man, shalom.